Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today I want to give you an update on my free-to-play account, Discount Drake. I've had a lot of people asking me how the progress is going, where the character is, what's been going on, and I appreciate your enthusiasm for it, guys. So I wanted to give you a rundown of all of the things that I've been able to achieve, which is not that much yet, but also a lot of observations I've made, because I have noticed a lot of things that would be very hard for an intermediate or veteran player like my regular account to notice, and then a couple of things that I think could be changed, and a couple of things that would, help out the new player experience a lot. So I ended up finishing off the new player check-in event. Obviously, I just checked in for 7 days. It wasn't that difficult. The new 7-day check-in is whatever. I ended up getting a 4-star card, I believe, or a 4-star rank-up ticket from the Platinum box, which is nice. I'll be able to save that for later. The limited event that has been going on, I've just been collecting it. For the event quest, this is a bit disappointing. The World Boss participations are not actually participations, they're actually victories. And I tried that by going into World Boss and trying to win but ending up losing, and seeing that it wasn't affecting the score. I know that the participation is a bit misleading, because once you participate with a team you shouldn't be able to use them again in World Boss, but I was a bit disappointed to realize that with this event quest, new players who can't yet beat World Boss 3 times per day, which is quite a bit, you need to have 9 6-star characters who are able to do it, are missing out on 30 tokens every single day. So I'm missing out on 30 tokens every single day. No thank you. As far as what I would buy from the event shop if I was a new player, I think that the hidden tickets are excellent, especially because they're going to help you with all the special missions. They're going to give you actually free rewards. You can save up and get a head start on the Nordstones of Chaos, but I wouldn't get the Black Antimatter. I wouldn't bother with the Phoenix Feathers or the Emcron Crystals. You're just not going to have enough use for it yet if you're in a similar position to where I am in the game right now. I think the level 5 XP chips are no good. The energy is not great. I actually would be tempted to pull the 4-star ISO 8 chest, believe it or not. I'm actually gonna get one now, and that's a pretty awesome pull. And the reason why I mentioned the ISO 8 is because that's one thing that I find myself struggling to get. Being VIP 0, not being able to play the daily missions for the ISO 8, because I do want... No, I don't want to do that. Thank you, Friday. Because I do want both the extra gold and the XP chips. I'm using the extra gold to donate it to my alliance to then be able to buy other things. So it doesn't allow me to run this mission. But even if I did run this mission, there's only a couple of Nordstones that I'd be getting each and every day. So I do find that Nordstones are a huge bottleneck. Of course, I don't have much use for them at this point. I don't have enough gold to just go wild and roll whatever ISO 8s that I want, but I did get Drastic Density on Sharon Rogers, and I decided to keep it. It's a pretty decent set, and it's rare. But in addition to that, I actually only finished the set off today. I actually was missing a chaotic. I ended up buying this chaotic ISO 8 from the lab, and then I just pulled this one now on the video, on the recording. But other than that, I was unable for the past few days, despite having the set rolled, to actually finish it off. Another thing that I find that's very bottlenecked that I'm having trouble getting enough of are gear up kits, as you would have guessed. I have a few now because I've been doing some missions, but something I noticed that was kind of good and bad is in the epic mission or the epic quest for the X-Men, I unlocked the tracking missions because I ended up doing the 100 combat Nornstone research mission. I finished that one. So then it allows you to unlock Rogue. It gives you Rogue at 1 star with 10 biometrics, and then you can run her mission. Running her mission is great. I'm not saying it's bad. It's awesome that you have guaranteed bios, so you only have to run it 10 times. I just ran out of energy, otherwise I would finish it off now. But you don't get anything other than bios and Emcron shards. You don't get any gear up kits. You don't get any Nornstones. So with very limited energy, being only level 34, only having 80 energy, only having 1 energy recharge per day, that sometimes I miss because I can't use it right at the 24-hour mark, so it just gets delayed, makes it so that getting those rogue bios is actually costing me when I'm trying. Thank you again for the ad. This is just great. it shows me again, or it makes it harder for me again. It chokes again when I'm trying to do other things. Like, for example, I've been farming Black Panther. It's great because I can get Norn Stones of Brilliance, the green ones. I can get that for the Epic Quest research mission. I can get gear up kits, and I can also get Black Panther bios. I've also been ranking up, trying to rank up Spidey. Same thing. I'm getting the blue Norn Stones that I can use for the Epic Quest research mission and gear up kits. Spidey is ready for 5 stars. I'm really excited to get him to 6 stars. And I have been contemplating whether or not to just buy his uniform because it is on sale right now. So I wanted to ask you guys, should I keep saving for Magneto's Might, or should I buy the Homecoming uniform with Spidey on the cusp of 5 stars? He's not yet at 6 stars, but I think at 5 stars, especially because he will get his web fling. He'll get his web fling unlocked at 5 stars. I think it would be a pretty nice uniform. It won't help me in World Boss, but it'll help me in basically everything else. It might make Spidey good enough to maybe take on a stage of Shadowland or something like that. As far as more difficult content goes, I did attempt World Boss a couple of times, but I simultaneously don't have enough skill cooldown, and I don't deal enough damage. It's both of those things, so it makes the fight extremely difficult. I attempted Nowhere Man, the Dimension Rift double world boss. I was able to kill Ebony, but I took too much damage, so I basically died to Black Dwarf, kind of with about 1:30 left. I don't know if I would have killed Black Dwarf because Sharon Rogers has a lot of physical attacks as well as energy attacks, so it makes it difficult to crack his shield. I only have Paladin Blast, which doesn't do enough damage in one shot to do so. My Sharon Rogers is almost level 60. We're having a little bit of trouble getting there because I just don't have enough time in the day to not clear ticket missions and have them run through successfully. Just as a disclaimer to you guys, this is not the fastest progression that a free-to-play player could have in the game. I have missed a couple of things. I've missed some timeline battles. I've missed a couple of things, and I haven't been able to run missions, as I said before, using only the energy and having the character run through, because unfortunately, even with autoplay plus, I do have to watch a lot of these missions because sometimes the characters will just do really poor skill rotations, and because they have still pretty low skill cooldown, I believe I'm only at 30%, yeah, 32% skill cooldown, I just don't have enough to rotate through all the skills, and they end up auto attacking, and then they end up sometimes dying even on stages that they're not supposed to die on, that they've beaten before, and so it makes it very difficult to progress because I'm juggling 2 accounts, I'm juggling other things. If I was only doing this, it would be a little bit easier, but since I'm not, it does make it a little bit harder, and I do have to clear ticket more often to actually get things done in the day. Another thing I noticed is that, for example, despite the similar numbering on the difficulty of the level, so if you go over to Rogue's 3rd mission, going Rogue number 3, it says that the enemies are level 60, and it says that the recommended attack team is 7,000, and then you go to a similar mission, so keep 7,000 in mind. You go over to the special mission for Sandman, which I have been farming, and the 3rd one is also level 60, and it's also a recommended attack of about 7,200. However, I find the Rogue mission infinitely easier than this Sandman mission. I've actually died playing myself on this Sandman mission still with my characters, because Vulture comes in as a striker, because these hazmat suit wearing guys have so much HP, and Sandman doesn't get perma-stunned. He does break out of the stuns that I'm doing and the attack patterns, and he hits me back. He does his 5th skill, he gets immunity, stuff like that, physical immunity too. So I do think that, you know, to help new players, and especially because it's the X-Men, that these X-Men tracking missions have been made a little bit easier. I'm not saying they should be hard, I just think it's interesting that while the recommended attack score is the same, about 7,000, 7,200, I can see a huge gap in terms of the power level of the enemies and in terms of the difficulty. The other thing I think you guys might be questioning me about is my roster. I've been able to farm Loki up to 4 stars just by using rifts. I haven't been able to get good enough cards from rifts because I don't have any beluga whales on my friends list, so all the rifts that are opening are just normal rifts or rare rifts. I have been trying to open the comic card chest from the Alliance card chest, which is where you can get the kind of good free-to-play beginner cards like Marvel Zombies that give skill cooldown. Unfortunately, I have not been able to pull that card, so I've just been saving a lot of my cards to roll them up later on when I do have other options, because right now I just have a lot of Loki cards and I have some Nebula cards, and that's about it. This is probably one of the more frustrating aspects, because I know my cards could be better pretty easily if I got a little bit luckier, but I'm not getting lucky and I'm pulling bad card after bad card from the Alliance chest, and even trying to pull cards from the token shop using my hero token, or honor token, sorry, has not been yielding good results. This is probably not the best use of my honor tokens right now. I might think about saving them up. I might actually think about using them to get Norn Stones, especially if I want to rank up Iron Man's leadership, but we're going to try it here just to give you guys an example of my luck. And yeah, it's just, this is basically what's been happening, and it's been preventing me from improving my card stats. Right now I have about 12% skill cooldown, which is nice. If I got a nice Marvel Zombies, I could jump up to 20%, and I'd be very close to kind of the ideal between 20 and 30%. I'd probably aim to be closer to 30% as a new player, just to give myself every advantage possible as far as skill cooldown. The other stuff is nice, the all attack is whatever, but really at this point it's about getting the skill cooldown to be as close to max as possible to allow the characters that I'm using, and as you can see they all have something in common, you know, and abuse their skill rotation effectively. The last thing I think you guys are going to be asking me about is Medusa. Where did she come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Well, Medusa is the character that I chose for the last 6-star selector that I got from the new player reward. I chose Medusa because I thought that she would be the most flexible option, pun intended, for me to build up. And I say flexible in a couple different ways. She has the 3-star skill that gives her immunity, so that's great. She has the same thing that Sharon Rogers has, and the same thing that Titania has, which I really like. She has a lot of crowd control, which is very good for modes where it affects, where it works, like Shadowland. She has multiple iframes, which I'm familiar using. She has a self-buffing leadership, which again I think is important, and she's a universal type, which makes her more usable for Shadowland in different stages. And she has some moves that deal AoE, like her 5th skill, and other moves that deal single target damage. So I thought that Medusa would help me out, particularly in Shadowland, and that's why I chose her. She will be able to get me a world boss kill down the road. I just don't have enough right now. I have to rank up her gears and try to, you know, gear out the character a little bit more. I only got her a couple days ago, and I haven't been able to show her a lot of love because I've been working on Sharon Rogers and Titania. So that is where I'm at as far as the roster goes. I'm kind of quietly trying to rank up Iron Man's mastery just for the skill cooldown. I only have 1 star because I got a 1-star mastery ticket from the boost points that we were given. I collected them all at the end and I used them all at the same time, and that's the only good reward I got aside from XP chips, uniform XP chips, and hidden tickets. So I think I'm going to try to do that. I think I also need to start ranking up Black Widow a little bit more because she's quite a good character and I already have her at 5 stars. Other than that, I don't see a lot of progress to be made in the roster given what I have. I think I just have to keep grinding, keep doing a lot of story mission stuff, and getting these characters to level 60 as fast as I can. Obviously, if I had more time to play manually, these characters would be a little bit higher level, and I would have some of the other characters on this list, like Spider-Man or Sandman, ranked up a little bit more, or sorry, leveled up a little bit more. But I think the progress so far is pretty good. I think probably by the next progress check-in in about a week, maybe less, I should have both a first world boss and maybe 1 or 2 Shadowland levels cleared. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. The last thing I do want to mention is all of the rewards that you get from character advancements and quests. I kind of forgot about this. The character one I didn't forget about because it still happens on my main account, but this one I kind of forgot about. You get quite a few rewards just from doing things in the game as a beginner, and it's pretty nice. I think some of the gold rewards could be bumped up, but as you can see, I haven't actually collected any of these. So this is kind of clearing most of the story missions and just starting out as a new player for about a week. You can see the amount of crystals and the amount of gold that you get is not a bad amount. It's pretty substantial, especially for a free-to-play account that doesn't have anything else going for them. Like, I've already collected close to 200 crystals just by playing the game, not doing anything in particular, and I think this is great. So let me know what you guys think of the progress on the free-to-play account. If you're in a similar situation to me, if you're in a similar position, let me know how you're finding the game, if you think that it's a little bit too grindy, or if you think that there are some changes that could be made and what they would be if you could change them. That's a lot of XP chips and a lot of chests. What are in these chests anyways? I wonder. And of course, guys, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Okay. Take care.